Imagine a vault buried 2 full stories beneath the earth, protected by a security apparatus that the world's finest engineers deemed completely flawless. To enter, you would first need a heavy, physical key that was over a foot long, which could only be used in combination with a complex digital lock featuring 100 million possible combinations. Even if you somehow possessed both, the vault room itself was a subterranean fortress guarded by active infrared heat sensors designed to detect the temperature of a human body, a sophisticated Doppler radar system that picked up the slightest micro-movements, magnetic field detectors on the massive steel doors that weighed several tons, and a dedicated, round-the-clock security team patrolling the perimeter. To the international community, this vault in Antwerp, Belgium, the undisputed diamond capital of the world, was completely impenetrable. It was a sacred fortress where billionaires, royal families, and elite international brokers left their most valuable treasures without a single worry. Yet on a quiet, freezing Monday morning in February 2003, the vault doors were swung open to reveal a scene of total, unbelievable chaos. Over 100 secure safe deposit boxes had been violently forced open with crowbars, precious gems covered the floor like glittering gravel, and more than $100 million in diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and solid gold bars had vanished into thin air without a single alarm being triggered anywhere in the building. The global diamond industry was stunned by the absolute perfection of the crime, but the intensive international police investigation that followed would soon uncover that this impossible heist was not a sudden break-in, but a brilliant, highly calculated, years-long deception executed by a smooth-talking Italian master thief named Leonardo Notarbartolo. Leonardo was not a typical violent criminal. He was a man of incredible charm, elegant style, and quiet intelligence who viewed high-stakes thievery as a refined art form. He spent 3 full years preparing for this single night, establishing a brilliant undercover identity by posing as a legitimate, wealthy international diamond merchant. He rented a small, unassuming office right inside the secure Antwerp Diamond Center building, which gave him a legal electronic badge and daily, unrestricted access to the private corridors. Over many months, Leonardo walked the halls with a hidden camera disguised as a common designer pen in his front shirt pocket, secretly filming the security guards, recording the exact movements of their keys, and mapping out the precise locations of every single sensor inside the subterranean corridors. To execute the final phase of the plan, Leonardo assembled a specialized, hand-picked team of elite Italian criminals, each known only by theatrical code names to protect their real identities. There was the genius, an electronics expert who could manipulate any circuit board, the king of keys, a master locksmith capable of duplicating any lock in the world from memory, and the monster, a muscle-bound childhood friend who excelled at physical security bypasses and navigating tight spaces in absolute darkness. On the night of February 15, 2003, their window of opportunity finally arrived, while the city of Antwerp was completely distracted by a massive international tennis tournament and a local winter festival. Leonardo acted as the lookout on the street, while his team slipped into the building silently through a side entrance. When they reached the impenetrable vault room, they did not try to hack the main computers. Instead, they used incredibly simple, everyday objects to defeat multi-million-dollar technology. To blind the infrared heat sensors, the genius used regular, inexpensive plastic hairspray, coating the sensors with a thin film that temporarily trapped their heat readings and kept them from detecting human bodies. To fool the magnetic field detectors on the vault door, they utilized a custom-made metal shield that held the magnetic connection in place, even as the massive steel door was unlocked and swung open. Once inside the vault, they worked in total, blinding darkness for hours, using small flashlights to avoid triggering any light-sensitive alarms. They systematically smashed open the safe deposit boxes, stuffing massive, heavy garbage bags with millions of dollars worth of loose diamonds and solid gold bricks before slipping out into the cold winter rain, completely confident that they had just committed the most perfect, flawless crime in human history. But even the most brilliant criminal minds can be utterly brought down by the most ordinary human mistakes. The very next day, as the team was driving in a 2-car convoy toward the Italian border, a wave of intense, overwhelming panic hit Leonardo's childhood friend, who had been given the critical responsibility of destroying all the physical evidence from the break-in. Inside his vehicle, he had garbage bags filled with incriminating items, including half-eaten food from the long night, specialized tools, and the legal documents Leonardo had used to rent the undercover office. Instead of burning the garbage bags in a safe location as he had been strictly instructed to do, the panicked accomplice let his anxiety get the better of him. He pulled over on the side of a quiet Belgian highway and threw the bags deep into a random, thick forest, hopping the dense trees would hide the trash forever. By an incredible stroke of bad luck for the thieves, a local forest worker who was deeply frustrated by people constantly dumping illegal trash on his land stumbled upon the shiny plastic bags just a few hours later. Annoyed by the litter, he immediately called the local police department. When detectives tore open the messy trash bags, expecting to find ordinary household waste, they instead discovered a goldmine of investigative evidence. Hidden among the trash were ripped-up receipts from the Antwerp Diamond Centre, a half-eaten salami sandwich containing fresh DNA, and a business document bearing the real, legal name of Leonardo Notarbartolo. Within days, police raided Leonardo's local apartment, finding microscopic diamond dust embedded in his clothing and carpet fibers, which gave prosecutors an open-and-shut case. A Belgian court ultimately sentenced the Italian master thief to 10 years in prison. Yet, despite the arrests and the definitive closing of the case, a massive, tantalizing mystery remains to this day. The stolen $100 million in diamonds and gold was never recovered, leaving the international art world and police forces to wonder where the phantom treasure of Antwerp is hidden today.